Welcome to a Week 5 edition of the Postgame Show. I'm here with someone making their debut. We got Jayden in the house. Jayden, how's it feel, man? My first time on the Postgame Show.
Feeling pretty good. Really excited to be here. Really happy that I was able to watch these last few games yesterday, actually.
Amen. Yeah, it was great games, right? We had some bangers. I mean, we had some overtime, almost overtime games. We had a buzzer beater. We had, a few close games in here. We're going to start with a game that's, a little grudge match. For Jayden and a few listeners who don't know, Get Money played NLMB. And for those who don't know, NLMB actually, Alex Willis, one of their team captains, was on Get Money, the first season Get Money played in the league. And they made the finals that season, and then he ended up making his own team. Same with Tarek McCall, who wasn't there. But Get Money got their revenge in this one, and it was the Kyle Davis show. Stop me if you heard that before. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million times again. There's no one that gets a bucket in this league like Kyle Davis. He's struggling this year from the three-point line, and that happens, especially because I know Kyle plays in a bunch of different leagues, 10-foot rims, and then he goes to 8.5 rims. It's hard to get your jump shot back. I mean, Kyle Davis is a career 40% three-point shooter, so it's just not his best year from the three-point line, but he has been incredibly efficient, and he's been leading this Get Money team throughout the entire year. This Get Money team was without Jake Morales, was without Chad McCoy. Same can be said for NLMB. They were without Rocco Swenson, who's arguably their best player, so that was a big one in this one. But, I mean, I'm going to kick it to Jayden. He was there courtside, but I just think this was kind of the Kyle Davis show, and Get Money, had too much for NLMB. But what'd you see, Jayden?
No, yeah, I agree. Kyle Davis, I mean, he wasn't hitting as much threes, but he was still playing his role on the offense with taking it to the lane, hitting some nasty layups. I mean, there was some tricky layups that I saw that he was doing, very acrobatic, but he was still hitting those shots. And when he's also partnered up with DeMar Whitaker, I mean, he's also putting up his points, getting their stops on defense. Fast breaks was a very big opportunity, especially in that game. A lot of hard offense, and then they played seriously on defense. Both teams are really doing well. Another one, Jacob Morales, just another huge partnership with the three of them. They're just unstoppable on offense.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, this league is about that partnership. And I think that's something that NLMB was missing with that Rocco Swenson out there. They had Dante and Alex have a good game. Christian Dessou really struggled in this one. That's where you need a guy like Rocco Swenson to come in. I mean, Rocco has been killing it this year. Speaking of debuts, Jaden's debut on this, Rocco's debut in the league, and he's averaging 21 and shooting 70% from the field with 9 rebounds. So that's a big, big guy that you're missing, especially when you're going against a team like Get Money. Get Money's no slouch. I know Get Money's having, a rough year. I also want to give a shout-out quickly to Tyron McCray. Tyron McCray, I know I brought it up before. He had a bad Achilles injury a few seasons ago, and he's been working his way back from that. And this was the first game I saw Tyron start to look like he got his legs back, start to look like he was hitting shots. For those who don't know, Tyron McCray, he's a very good player. His last season where he was fully healthy, he averaged 15 points, and he shot about 60% from three. And he's a leader of this game. He's an all-star game MVP. He's a two-time all-star. Tyron is a very good player, and same with Tyshin. And I just think they're figuring it out. This Get Money team's interesting. They're a weird team, and I think they're one of those teams that are going to start trending in the right direction late. And come playoffs time, I don't know if you're going to want to see them. But for NLMB, get Rocco back, baby. I mean, NLMB next week, you guys got the Syndicate. And then you got you got week 7, you got the Syndicate. Read that schedule wrong. And then you got Lux Gang next week. So you could easily take out Lux Gang and then go into that Syndicate game. And if you win that Syndicate game, you got Street Ballers week 8, and NLMB, you could be going to the playoffs riding high, especially if Syndicate, maybe can, let's say you beat Syndicate and Street Ballers win out. Street Ballers could be the 2 seed. So the playoffs are going to be spicy. So for these two teams, I think it's very similar. Just keep grinding, keep pushing. You'll be there in the kind of in the end. But the next few games, they were close. We'll start with one of the closer one in the next 2 games. And, I got to give a shout out to More Power before I get into the Lux game. Lux Gang took down More Power 57-53. But man, More Power, I gotta give them credit. They are fighting. They came into this season, and I was like, man, these guys might not win a game. And they almost won their second game of the year. I mean, if it wasn't for Hakeem Trueheart, who I think had one of his best games I've ever seen him play, this More Power team's coming. I want to give a shout out to Captain America, my boy Cody. Cody has been in this league for a long time. I remember his first team, Blood, Sweat, and Beers, in summer 2016, and Cody's still doing it. That's my dog, and he's, 17 points, 80% from the field. He made his only 3, 13 rebounds. Cody knows what it takes to win in this league. He's a champion. He was on Joey's team in the past with Run TMC. Cody knows what to do. And then you got guys like Dennis and Nate and John. This more power team, just keep doing your thing, guys. You guys are really playing good basketball, and you guys are doing your best out there. And I think, Syndicate next week is going to be hard, but then more power. You got BTFO week after that. That's a very winnable game for you guys. So I just wanted to give more power love before I get into Lux game because I want to show this Lux game team love as well, but for different reasons. I think this Lux game team is becoming a legit team. I think that it's big when they have five guys. These guys need a bench guy. I shout out my guy Rico. I'll never forget I drafted Rico in the All-Star game one year, and Rico hit me with, I'm 30 plus. Rico is almost 40. And it makes what Rico's doing out there so much more impressive, and not in like a bad dissing way, in like an incredibly impressive way. The fact that Rico's running around with like Kyle Davis, I think is 24, 25. So this Lux Gang team has experience. They got the best mid-range shooter in the league in Akeem Trueheart. They got one of the best finishers in the league in Trayvon Jones. They got a leader in Rico. They're starting to get some depth with other guys coming. And this Lux Gang team, don't look now, but they got NLMB next week. Then they got the Syndicate. Then they got Street Ballers. And then they got the Syndicate. And I could 100% see a world where they win those next two games and maybe lose to the Syndicate. But then maybe they're playing NLMB or maybe they're playing BTFO or more power in the playoffs and they can make a little run. So, hey, Lux Gang, I got to give a tip of my hat. They are the definition of just keep your head down, keep pounding, and keep pushing because they're doing their thing. And then we're going to get to the next game. And I want to say, welcome back to our boy, Street Ballers' own Melquan Horton. Melquan Horton, another guy. He was playing when me and Connor were interns, Melquan. He was on Team Moose at the time. And, I usually do this with a lot of players that have, been in the league longer, but just to show, this is Melquan. If you look at my screen, this is Melquan's profile. He's played in this league for a while, summer 2017. Defensive player of the year, all first team defense. Melquan's a good player, as you can see from his stats. He's not the guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet with the scoring, but what he will do, rebounds, assists. Look at his blocks per game, 2, 1.6, 1.7. Shout out my interns. Interns are not very good at getting blocks, especially assists, rebounds, easy. The blocks that's how you know Melquan's really playing hard defense. And something I always used to say, and me and Connor always used to say, is Melquan used to be in the top plays all the time getting put on a poster. And one of the things that happens when you're a great defender is you believe in yourself, and you're going to be put on posters. That's just life of a basketball player, especially when you're playing hard out there. And Melquan brought that to this Street Ballers team, to a team that already played hard. He brought it. He had 21 on the night. Joito Acosta had 19. Angel Perez, 11. Benji, 11. Branley with 10. You got Acosta, Marquise Woods. This Street Ballers team brought 1, 2, 3. They have 6, 7 guys at the game now. Look, this Street Ballers team, this is one of the really interesting teams because they get Syndicate. They get Run Team C next week. That's going to be a really, really hard battle. But if they can come out, they can beat Lux Gang, and then they can beat NLMB these last 2 weeks. Don't look now, but if the Syndicate lose one game, Street Ballers and Syndicate will be tied, and that Syndicate game against Street Ballers will literally be for that 2 seed. So the Street Ballers are in pole position right now. They have 3 wins. They're the only team that are 3-2. The rest of the league, we got NLMB 2-3, Get Money 2-3, Lux Gang 2-3. So I just want to show these Street Ballers boys love. They really, really are doing their thing out there, and they play so hard. And, I know they've been through some bullshit, pardon my French, but, I'm happy to see Melquan and the boys looking like they're having fun out there. As far as BTFO, love seeing Jameson Brothers, do his thing. But I don't know. This BTFO team just isn't efficient enough. They really struggle shooting the ball, and it's going to be really hard in this league if you just can't shoot the ball well. And, they're 36 of 126 from 3. They've taken the most threes in the league, BTFO, and they have not made the most, I'll tell you that much. So, these guys are good players. I just think they got to change their game. Like, this next week, go into it, empty slate. What are we going to do? Maybe we take less threes. I know I told them to jack threes, but that might not be their game. They might need to just slow it down. Just slow it down. Waste some clock because they are talented. This BTFO team is very talented. They're not bad. They beat Lux Gang week 1. So I think they're just kind of, it's hard when you're a free agent team. They're kind of putting a few pieces together. But, head up BTFO. You guys, next week, you got Get Money, and, maybe you can make a little upset there. But you got to slow the game down against them, and you got to play some good defense. And I think that's going to be huge. But speaking of a good game, we got the game of the week. The potential finals matchup that many think might be a finals game. We had Run TMC versus the Syndicate, Mike Davis, Reggie Stewart, and Run TMC wins on a buzzer beater three from Reggie Stewart. It was an incredible game. I'll save my thoughts on a lot of it. I got a lot of thoughts, but Jayden, I'm going to go to you. You saw this, King. What'd you see?
Oh my God. From the beginning of the game to over or at almost at overtime, sorry. It was just back and forth. Run TMC, the Syndicate. I mean, they were both head and head. Uh, both teams knocking down a couple threes, but they were not hesitating to find a lane and attack that rim, which is something I really like about both of the games. I mean, sorry, both these teams. They're not scared to pass it to the big guy in the middle or be physical down there, be dominant, and take it down for a dunk. We saw that also with Eric Langston. He's just been really putting his body on the court, using it, and then just going up, drawing a foul if he can. And that's just what you got to do. I mean, if you're a big guy on the court, you just got to take advantage of that. And if you're the Syndicate, I mean, you have to find a way around it. And you guys sort of did, and that's what kept the game close. And it just came down to Reggie hitting that buzzer beater three, and you have Reggie, Quan, and Joseph who are already averaging over 100 points so far this season. So I mean, it's great that both teams played their hearts out, and you just love to see, especially for the big moments for like the buzzer beater. You just love to see that in basketball. Love it.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree. This is what Legacy League's action about, and this is what great basketball is about. And I got a lot of thoughts in this game, but I first want to show love to Joseph Carter and Run TMC and Reggie. Joey always talks about Reggie runs TMC, and one of the things I admire about Reggie is it's never about how he starts; it's about how he finishes. He didn't have the best game, 6-15 from the field, 3 of 8 from three. He was playing hard out there. This was, I mean, the Syndicate team is a damn good team. They play damn good defense. And Reggie Stewart at the end put all the bullshit aside. He said, "I got this. This is my game. Give me the ball." And he took a crazy contested three that was very deep, and he hit it. And that's one of the things about this Run TMC team. They have belief. They have belief in each other, and they all have each other's backs. And if you ask Pratt after the game, he knew that shit was going in. If Eric Langston was taking that shot, he knew that was going in. If Pratt wanted that shot, he knew that was going in. And this Run TMC team has the self-belief. They have no doubt. And they also have the most talented team in the league by far. This Run TMC team is the clear favorite, and they should be the clear favorite to win the championship. Anything other than winning a championship would be a massive disappointment for this Run TMC team. They're the most talented team, they're the most skilled team, and they are the most experienced team in this league. So I just want to give them their flowers because, I obviously, love the guys from Run TMC. I've did my Flint thing in the past with them, but really quick, too, on Run TMC, Joseph Carter is one of the most unstoppable players in this league. I don't know how you stop him. Jaquan Bromell did a good job on him, but I mean, Joseph Carter is probably going to be MVP. I don't know how you argue against it. He averages 30 a game on 72% shooting. He is just a problem. And my thing with this Run TMC team is I don't know at the end of the game how you're going to stop them because, for instance, let me go in the Syndicate really quick. Mike Davis did what Mike Davis does. This is one of the best games I've seen Mike Davis play in a long time. Mike Davis is extremely efficient. The main difference for me and Reggie is how efficient Mike can be. Sometimes Reggie is a little loose with the shots and he doesn't shoot as well. Mike picks his spots and is a leader out there the same way Reggie is. But one of the things that, I think is huge about Reggie and Mike, Reggie, 100% from the free throw line this year. Mike Davis, 92%. That is huge in these games. And one of the reasons the Syndicate was in it, I mean, if you look how even this game was, I know this doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, it's crazy how even this was. You look at the box score. TMC took 52 shots. Syndicate took 50. They both shot over 55%. They both made the same amount of threes and took the same amount of threes. This was an even game, as even as it could be, and I think in the end, it's what I said, the depth of TMC, the way that at the end of the game, you got Mike Davis on Reggie. Oh, wait, we can't have Mike Davis and Reggie. We need Mike on Quan because who is going to be on Quan? And we saw that in this game. Quan Jackson is the X factor. Syndicate does not have anyone who can guard Quan Jackson. Jaquan has got to be on Joe Carter. He has to be, unless you're putting Alex out there. And Alex did a good job, Jay Velez. They did great jobs out there. I want to show all those guys love. Like Syndicate, you guys fought, and I really respect that. But I think this game, when if you guys meet in the championship again, is how do we stop Quan Jackson? Because Joe Carter, you were valing him. You did a good job. Joe Carter shot 50% from the free throw line. So the hacking worked really well. It's what are they going to do when Quan Jackson gets to his spot in the corner? There's not many guys who can hang with Quan one on one, and I just think he's just going to be too much for this syndicate team. I don't know. Really quick for the syndicate, Jaquan Bromell, he is becoming one of the most underrated players in this league. He is phenomenal. He is really getting better each game. Jason Hernandez, love you, Jason. I need a better game from Jason in this game. 3 of 10 shooting is not going to do it. And honestly, I might need a few more minutes from Mikey Fuller and Eric Moore in this game. Eric Moore played pretty well. Same with Mikey. EJ, I love EJ Linton. He struggled in this one. He was pressing a little bit, and it's I know I'm saying a lot of these things what Syndicate can do. I would love to be proved wrong, but I just think this TMC team is too deep. I don't know what Syndicate's going to do to stop some of these guys when some of these lineups get up there. I mean, like Jayden said, you got Eric Langston down low. Eric Langston hasn't even had his good 3-point shooting game. Eric Langston every year is overdue for a game where he hits about 5 or 6 threes. And you got Dave Armstrong. And you got Dave Armstrong on the bench. And Dave Armstrong's a 3-time champ, defensive player of the year. Like, this team is too stacked. I just don't see how you're going to take it from them. I mean, I love the Syndicate. Shout out all you guys. You guys should be proud, and you guys should be ready to go. I think I came out of this game more impressed with the Syndicate than TMC because I expected this from TMC. Like I said, they're the most talented. They're just ready to go. So, I mean, Jayden, you got anything else? Anything else you saw in this game? Anything you want to mention?
I mean, everyone's just a great sport in that, and especially in that game. They were chirping out a couple of times. So it's just friendly competitiveness. Just it's something that you really need in a basketball game. You need that competitive sport, that mentality. It just brings the best out of you guys. And Syndicate, you guys are a really great team. Really hoping that the next few weeks goes your way. If not, then you know what to work on. Keep working on it. And I just expect great plays, great things from both teams, and actually all the teams going forward. I mean, everyone is just they have real talent, and I just hope everyone does well.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, we got some milestones of Syndicate and TMC play in the finals. We got Eric Langston going for his 5th ring, Devon Pratt, I believe, going for his 5th ring, Reggie Stewart going for his 4th ring. Mike Davis, if he wins, will win his 7th championship in Legacy Leagues. I think we've had 14 seasons. So this is a game, and Jayden said it perfectly. Just for the backstory, real quick, a lot of these guys are friends. A lot of these guys have been on the same team. Let's go back to when me and Connor were interns. Pratt, number 24 on TMC, and Mike Davis, they were a package. They're boys. They usually always were together. Reggie was on the Monstars with Eric Langston and co. Dave Armstrong was on the team with Pratt. Like, all these guys used to be on teams together. Then TMC teamed up last season, and Mike Davis did not play last season. Came back, probably could have joined Run TMC. Wanted to join the Syndicate because he likes playing against them. And, it is, Jayden said it best, there is nothing more entertaining in Legacy Leagues basketball when you got Devon Pratt and Mike Davis on the side. And then you got Reggie there. And, they beef, but it's just like Jayden said, nothing serious. This is all love between them. You see all the girlfriends are there. They're talking shit. This is what Legacy basketball is about. And we had an incredible week, and we have an incredible week next week. We got NLMB Lux Gang, BTFO Get Money, probably the game of the week, Run TMC Street Ballers, and then Syndicate More Power to end it off. And More Power, I apologize that you got to take Syndicate after a loss because they're going to be ready to come at y'all throats. So good luck to them. But, for me, Greg, for Jayden did a hell of a job. You killed it, brother. I appreciate you as always. Shout out to all the interns who helped out. And, hey, shout out Connor, Chris, all the boys. Joey, congratulations. You got that big dub. You're one step closer to Joey's 2nd championship in Legacy League. So, I mean, maybe the boys can bring it for him. But for me, Greg, for Jayden, appreciate you guys.